this lesson, I'm going to show you the rhythm guitar parts to the song Your Love Never Fails. And let me just play a little bit of it for you so you can hear it, get the vibe of it, and then we'll talk about what's happening in each section of the song and some options on how to play it. So what's happening here is I'm capoed on the 3rd fret and I'm using the G chord family. There's no surprise chords or no complicated chords here. As far as the verse in the first part of the intro, you're just playing G over E, which is a variant of E minor, G without the middle finger, to C2, to G, to D. In this case, I'm actually going to play a D sus4, so just keep these two guys where they are. And you're just adding a finger right above. So again, G over E, C2, G to D, or D sus. Now I am doing something a little bit different to kind of connect these chords better. Whatever is on this D string, I'm taking off, and that provides a nice little link between the chords. So G over E is just a G over E. With my C2, my pointer finger is on that string, so I'm just going to take it off. And then likewise for my G, I'm actually going to use my middle finger to mute out the string below. So you hear the bass note followed by that D just like every other chord. And then to your D. So that's a real small, subtle thing, but it's kind of nice because it does help the chords flow together. So that's the chord formation, that's the chord pattern for, again, the intro and the verse. Now let's talk about the strumming and the strum pattern. The song's in 4/4, and as far as the strum pattern, it's just 8th notes. So you're just playing all down strokes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's your pattern. You just keep playing all down strokes, in which case it'd sound like this. So that's all your wrist is doing for the most part, but of course with the verse it sounds a little different, and the intro as well. What you're going to be doing is palm muting, so you're going to take the fleshy part of your hand and just rest it just barely on the strings. So you still hear the strings, but they're muted with your hand. And you don't want to press too hard, of course, and not too light, so you're going to have to mess with this. Relax your hand. Again, use the fleshy part of your hand. Make sure you're holding the pick the correct way and you're using your wrist to strum. So you're palm muting, you're playing 8th note down strums, and there's one more trick to this verse in the intro. You're going to accent certain notes. So you're going to accent the 1, the and of 2, and the 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So count that in your head, and again you're accenting those specific notes, and it's going to sound like this. So let me count it out for you so you can hear where I'm strumming. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll try it again just with the G over E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As soon as you're done with that, you'll switch to the next chord and do the same thing. Again, you're going to have to get used to accenting those notes. Soon enough, once you get used to it, you played a bunch, you'll do it automatically without having to count. But as you start, just go really slow and count out each strum in As you accent, maybe lift off your palm muting a little bit, let it ring out, strum a little bit harder, make those kind of pop, and you'll create a pattern within your eighth note strums. Sounds like this. So that covers the first part of the intro as well as the verse. Just use that technique and that chord progression and you'll be good to go. As far as the second part of the intro as well as the chorus, you're not having to palm mute. The song builds up a little bit. So you're just going to be strumming with whatever chord progression happens. I'm going to use the chord progression for the chorus as an example. So C2 to G to D. I'll use a D sus again, and then an A minor. Now I'm going to alter this chord just a little bit from my D sus chord. I'm going to leave that pinky there, play an A minor with my other fingers, and take the ring finger away. This gives me a nice A minor 7. So it's just A minor, no ring finger, and then add the pinky on that G. So again, C2, G, D, A minor, over and over. Now, since this is a big part of the song, what you can do is just apply that eighth note strum kind of all out and no palm muting, and you'll get this. Notice I was accenting a little bit like the verse, just to give some life to the strum pattern, so you can do that as well. And let me show you one more option you can do if you don't like strumming that fast, it's too fast for you, or your hand's getting tired out, you want another option. There is one, it's really simple. It sounds like this. All you're doing is playing 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So 2 quarter notes and then your eighth notes at the end. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and, which translates into down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Sounds like this. Down, 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 up, down, up. Real simple. Beauty of the strum, especially if you have a whole band going, you can alternate it in between the two if you want, as long as you stay on time. No problem with going from the eighths. So you have freedom to switch between the strum patterns if you want to, again, as long as you stay in time. If that throws you off, don't worry about it at all. So you have your verse and your intro, palm muting strum pattern, accenting the 1, the and of 2, and the 4. And then you have the second half of the intro as well as the chorus, where you open up your strum. You have either eighth notes or kind of the simplified fast strum. And that's all you need to know for the rhythm guitar parts for the song Your Love Never Fails.